Good afternoon, viewers. It's as always a pleasure to have you with us on all our telecast sessions, and today is no different. We, in fact, are having a wonderful session today, in which there will be a lot of interaction, a lot of we discuss, and a lot of issues concerning the environment, which will be taken up in great focus. As we all know, the government of India as well as IGNOU are both focusing a great deal on the issue of environment. And a novel scheme has been inaugurated by the name Ek Ped Makena, which is wonderful in the sense that we are attributing one tree or a sapling on the name of our mother. And that is something which should go a great deal in enunciating the principle associated with environmental protection. Ancient India, as we all know, has had great reverence for the protection of the environment. And the ancient scriptures are indeed very, very poignant in their deep emphasis on the protection of the environment. So there is a lot that we can learn from ancient India. There's a lot that we can learn from ancient people who had a great deal of environmental concern. And if you look at even the structures, buildings, and even the temples which were built in ancient India, a lot of emphasis was given on environmental protection. Even now, if we go to many of the temples and their precincts, we'll find that we have a rich foliage of vegetation all around the temples and along pilgrimage places as well. So all this goes to show that our culture, tradition, and institutions have all had a great deal of awareness with regard to environmental protection. So given these facts, we can even say that all the Vedas, the Rig Veda, Samaveda, Yajurveda, and Atharva Veda, they were all concerned about the prospects of unbalanced growth being entered into by the citizens. And therefore, we can even find references concerned with climate change in its various manifestations in ancient Indian culture and literature. Now, if you look at the Matsya Purana and Vishnu Purana as such, there is a lot of emphasis which goes into the protection of ecology. And there is a very poignant statement there as well, where it is stated that if you, in fact, destroy the ecology, you are actually going to destroy the civilization itself. And even in the Panchatantra, there have been multiple references where it is stated that cutting of trees and killing of animals will ultimately lead a person not to heaven but to hell. So these are all very poignant and very clear illustrations where ancient Indian literature had focused on the protection of the environment in a big deal. So I am not the one who will be able to talk a great deal on this because I lack the research emphasis on this. However, we have a very erudite and a very eminent practitioner who has joined us today and who has great and deep awareness about this issue area. So it is our proud privilege to welcome Dr. Lakshmi Vijayan ma'am to this session. And madam will in fact be talking on the environmental concerns in ancient Indian literature and the relevance to the present times. Madam, it is our privilege and honor to have you with us. In fact, madam in fact dons a multiple variety of hats, and she is associated with a lot of institutions, lot of agencies, and in fact, she has shown her mark in a diverse spectrum of areas. And therefore, it is always a privilege to have such a erudite resource person to talk on such an important issue area. In fact, there are a lot of things which have to be mentioned about madam and her achievements. So it is not possible for me to explain that in the short period of time that has been allotted to me. That I will leave to our Assistant Registrar Sri Raja, who will be explaining in great detail. However, the duty that is ascribed to me is to welcome the gathering. So first and foremost, let me welcome Dr. Lakshmi Vijayan madam to this session. It is an honor to have you, ma'am. Welcome, ma'am. Similarly, we also have the eminent presence of my colleagues, Dr. Satyakirti Tia, who is Assistant Regional Director at this session. I welcome him to this very August session. We also have the very eminent presence of Sri Raja, Assistant Registrar. It is always a pleasure to have you with us. Welcome, Mr. Raja. And I also welcome all my colleagues, not only at this regional center, but also at all the regional centers spread across the country, and also our students who I'm sure would be joining in great numbers in due course. So I welcome each and everyone who has taken time out of their very busy schedule to join this session. I'm sure it will be a privilege listening to Dr. Lakshmi Vijayan ma'am, and that exposition will be had in a short period of time. And before that, let me welcome and request my colleague, Dr. R. Raja, Assistant Registrar, to give a brief description of the achievements and profile of Dr. Lakshmi Vijayan. Over to you.
Pranam, sir. Respected Senior Regional Director, Dr. M. Rajesh, and Dr. T. R. Satyakirti, Assistant Regional Director, and most respected Dr. Lakshmi Vijayan VT, and all my colleagues who are attending this platform. A very pleasant good afternoon to everyone, and a very warm welcome to all who present here for the wonderful webinar on the environmental concerns in the ancient Indian literature and their relevance in the present time. As a part of plantation activity under Ek Ped Maa Ka Naam. Ek Ped Maa Ka Naam. So beautiful this word. Plant for Mother Camping 2024. A special thanks and welcome to our guest of the day. I am delighted to introduce our guest and most respected Dr. Lakshmi Vijayan, Assistant Professor in the Department of Nyaya Logic, Government Sanskrit College, Trvandrum. Madam, thanks for warmly accepted our invitation to join us today's event. On behalf of Indira Gandhi National Open University, Regional Center Trvandrum, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed guest on this afternoon. Madam is an accomplished individual in various fields, and Madam's key factor, W20 G20 Kerala chapter head with additional charge of Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu during 22-23. On April 4th, W20, India conducted a meeting with 381 Anganwadi teachers from Trvandrum in NIMS, Medcity, Neyatankara, Kerala, where Dr. Lakshmi Vijayan VT explained such a beautiful inspirationally to them and the vision and the objectives of W20. And next, if you see, there are a lot of things to explain, but since certain things I would like to brief on this platform. And Madam is a syndicate member and Sanskrit College in University, Calcutta, and All India Oriental Conference Executive Member, Board of Studies Member, University of Kannur, Kerala, Academic Council Member, Patanjali Yoga Training Center, Editorial Board Member, Yoga Pattirikam Thiri, Monthly Magazine, Censor Board, CBFC during 21-23. And if you remember about the publication, Madam's publication, authored 1 book, translated 4 books, edited 5 books, published 10 academic papers, great, written foreword for 6 books, and published many articles in different languages in dailies and magazines, and also eminent resource person. And also generally people who belong from South, they will talk more than 4 or 5 languages. So Madam is also one of the eminent in proving that languages. And once again, I thank you for your benign presence, Madam. And now it is over to you for a beautiful presentation on today's event. I welcome for this event. Please present it on behalf of IGNOU, Madam. Thank you, Madam. Welcome, Madam.
Before I let Madam speak, just one announcement. I request our viewers to put any questions or queries that they have on the chat box so that we can take them towards it. Over to you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon and namaste to all, respected Rajesh sir, Raja sir, and Team IGNU and all the viewers. Environmental concerns in ancient Indian literature and their relevance in present times. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said that Devan bhavayananena te deva bhavayantuva parasparam bhavayanta shreya paramavapsita. देवान् भावयतानेन ते देवा भावयन्तु वा परस्परं भावयन्त श्रेय परमवाप्स्यत. This Gita shloka says, if you respect, if you pray gods, if you go in front of them, they will consider you. You keep on praying them, you keep on calling them, you keep on respecting them, then only you will be in the list of gods. It's a vice versa relation. If you call only, you will be in the list of God and you will be protected. And according to Indian system, God is everywhere. And we consider everything as gods, like the moon, the sun, the earth. Everything is considered as gods. Even environment is also considered, earth is also considered as god. So if you keep on calling, if you considering, if you are giving respect, then only the earth will protect you. And in Indian culture, we respect many things. Normally we do salutation to elders, teachers, scholars, and we say namaste. Namaste means I give you respect. I bow in front of you. I respect you. And naturally, if you respect them, you will be getting back a namaste, which naturally says that they respect you too. This is the base of Indian culture. And the Indian culture is exactly directly based upon dharma. Or the dharma concept is the backbone or the pillar of Indian culture. So we say dharmo rakshati rakshitaha. The dharma which is protected by you will protect you. And it's not only for the human beings but for all the living things, all the natural things, everything, the earth, the water, the trees, the sun, the moon, the animals, cows, snakes, etc., and whatnot. And especially environment. And when the word environment comes, it's a paramount of importance, and it should be preserved for several reasons. Environment is actually life supporting system. Environment gives us everything: the air which we breathe, the water we drink, the food which we eat, and all our habits too is some or how related with environment. So it's a life supporting system. The environment is the base of everything and gives everything unconditionally, and it supports the whole and well being of everyone and overall survival of human beings also. So basically, not only all human beings, but also all living organisms, we can say. So when we think of the word environment, the first thing is that it's a life supporting system and it's a paramount of importance with which preserves all essential services. So now we should think, what is the real importance of environment? So the first thing which we have already told, we have already spoken about the life supporting system. The second thing is that the biodiversity, which is crucial for ecosystem sustainability. It provides services such as pollination, nutrition cycling, and climate regulations, etc. Then the third thing is that all climate regulations like natural forest, ocean, etc., which are moderate global temperature and water patterns, etc. The fourth is natural resources, and the fifth one is the cultural and recreational values. So all these are used for the well-being and maintaining the quality of life. So in general, preserving environment is critical for ensuring the health and well-being of all the living organisms, supporting economic sustainability, and maintaining the natural systems that sustain life on Earth. It is a shared responsibility that requires concern efforts from individuals, communities, governments, and international organizations. And when you say international organization, we should be really proud that India or Bharat was presiding G20 last year. In 20 to 23 period, India was presiding G20. G20 is a group of 20 countries. So we may think that okay, there are only 20 countries, but it's not the real thing. These 20 countries have the population, world's population, 64% is in these 20 countries. So when we say that Bharat was presiding G20, we should say that Bharat was presiding the 64% of world's population. It was Bharat was working for the 64% of the world's population. It was trying to help and solve problems of all the 20 countries, means 64% of the world population. And when a country is presiding, it can select many main points for concentration. And we India have taken topics as climate change and food were the two topics of G20, the main two areas of focusing of G20. And these both are really directly related with environment. And through this, India announced that 2023 is the year of millets, and the whole world with both open hands, they took that the millets are really good. And again, the whole world has taken that 2023 is the year of millets. And as the whole world has welcomed yoga, they have welcomed millets too. And again, here in India, we have increased the protection. So when Bharat was involving these two topics, of all the 20 countries, we should specially think of the motto or Dhyaya Vakya of G20 Bharat, which was Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam, which means the whole world is one home. And India, we say that for G20, we have again told that one earth, one family, and one future. And when we have a motto like this, it's not just a motto, it is a mindset of Indians or India. It is really the mindset of India. And we shows the readiness of the nature of Bharata to help or hug or console everyone or include everyone in all the matters. So even though we in G20 we have to take care of only 20 countries, as we think that the whole world is one family, Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam, we were supporting the people of the whole world, maybe 100% of the population. Maybe only India, only Bharat can consider like this. Only Bharat can think for the whole world. That is the greatness of our country. All our present thinking, the culture inherited from the basis of Indian culture, which would have been started maybe thousands and thousands of years ago, maybe before the time of Vedas. And Vedas, which in the introduction Rajeshwar was mentioning the names of the Vedas. Vedas might have been made maybe around 6,000 years ago. It's not the exact calculation, but it might have been made maybe around 6,000 years ago. And we say that as it is really great, as it is very big, we say that they are not man-made, but it is made by God, because it is that vast. It was not made within 1 year or 2 years. It was not made by one or two or three persons. It might have been made in a span of 1,000 or 2,000 years, and all the knowledge of that period was collected and made as four Vedas. And there are many people, many scholars, many rishis who wrote in that. So it was a very big collection of knowledge, of all sorts of knowledge, which is the cultural strength and scientific depth of Bharat. We have Rig Veda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, and Atharva Veda. The Vedas discuss all types of knowledges, the scientific, the philosophical, the cultural, the linguistics, and all types of knowledges. And the modern science, including atomic theory and molecular theory, they have developed within a span of 500 years. But the truth is that all the atomic theory, molecular theory, that Paramanuvada, even the gravitational forces, which is Gurutvakarshana, the metallurgy, the health science, the medicines, and what not, are discussed in Vedas, which are made 6,000 years ago. So that is the depth of Indian legacy, or Indian science and technology. Even the present generation, we have the legacy, and that is why we are able to give shelter to all, where we believe that Aditi Devo Bhava, which means gods are gods. In Indian literature is discussed a lot about environment, about the protection, about the conservation, taking care of these things were discussed, especially in Atharva Veda. A major part is related to Prithvi Vandanam, which says that the importance of earth. Earth is considered as God, and how it should be protected, why it should be protected, and clearly explains everything about environment. The and Why to go to Vedas? Then day to day shloka, which every day when we get up from our bed, we say a shloka. Samudra Vasane Devi, Parvatastana Mandale, Vishnu Patni Namastubhyam Pada Sparsham Kshamaswame. As soon as we get up from the bed, we touch the earth and or touch the ground and say that Samudra Vasane Devi Parvatastana Mandale Vishnupati Namastubhyam Pada Sparsham Kshamasune. That is it. Pada Sparsha. I am keeping my leg down, and please pardon me, because I keep my leg on you. We should not keep our leg on some elders or some great persons, but pardon me, earth, Devi earth or Mother earth, I'm keeping my leg on you. So this is the basic culture we get from our home. Our children, as soon as they get up, they chant this and get up. This is the culture. Taking permission every day to use the earth, taking permission every day to use the earth, use the environment, because I'm using you, and please forgive me, I don't have any other go. I should keep my leg on you. I'm really sorry. This is the thing. This is the thing which we keep in our mind. That is Indian culture. Respect everyone, respect elders. And not only in Vedas, the Kavyas or poetry, many poets were describing the beauty of nature. Bharat has a very beautiful nature. These poets have discussed how to preserve nature, what are the importance of nature, how this nature helps human being, and what should be the relation between human beings and environment. So see, not wrote about the not wrote not only about the beauty, but the relation, that is very important. What should be the relation with a person and with the environment, with a person, with all the other living beings? Let it be plants, let it be trees, let it be animals, birds, everything. What should be the relation? So these are discussed because we live in a society and we need the relation with all the things, which is really important. So all these are discussed by our great forefathers, the sages, the rishis, very long ago. And so we when we enjoy the poetry, We even understand the paramount of meanings which is emitted or exposed by the Sanskrit literature on ancient Indian literature. Ancient Indian literature is really the Sanskrit literature. It's basically the ancient Sanskrit literature. And in ancient Sanskrit literature, there are many subhashitas. They are really simple, very easy to learn, easy to understand, easy to by heart, but which says a great knowledge. With 4 lines, it will be like a bhandakar of knowledge. Now, the subhashita means good saying. Subhashita, good says or good sayings. Subhashitas mainly maybe considering single shlokas of 4 lines, which is very vast meaning in just 32 letters. And these 4 lines will be emerging single meaning or special points. There are many there are many subhashitas which says the importance to preserve nature, the importance to take care of the environment, and the importance not to pollute nature. There are many subhashitas which say how environment or nature help us to live here. Actually, they used to be formulas. We learn formulas in physics, chemistry, maths, and Sanskritam too. Through Sanskrit, we say formulas of everything. We say formulas of maths. We say formulas of chemistry through Sanskrit. That too, which were made maybe 3,000, 4,000 years ago. Here also about the environment also there are many formulas which are actually shlokas which give a great meaning, a great and vast meaning to preserve earth, to preserve environment, to consider environment, to love environment. That is the Indian system, that is the Indian culture. In modern concept we say that the reasons there are several reasons or concerns about the preservation of environment. One is human health. Naturally, we human beings nowadays especially we think about ourselves first. So we say first person. In Sanskrit, we don't say first person for ourselves. That is Uttama Purusha. So all the nowadays we think about ourselves first. So the first thing is that the health of human beings, and other is sustainable development. Another thing is climate. Climate might change, and a system of ecosystem service, natural disaster preservation, economic benefits, ethical responsibility, global interpretations, etc. All these were explained in our literature through some shlokas, maybe through some stories which stories, stories stay very near to our heart. They may stay in our heart than poetry. So we had the tradition of telling stories to our kids, and all the stories were having nice messages. That is why our kids like Ramayana or Mahabharata very much, even though they may be knowing the stories, but they wanted to hear it again and again, and unknowingly the messages conveyed, good messages conveyed through the characters stay in the heart of the children. And we say chottaile sheelam chodalavare, the habit which we have in in our childhood is stay with us till our death, and the knowledge which we acquire in our childhood will stay within us till the end of our life. And when we learn the good messages, the dharmic messages, the sandeshas of dharma, the messages of dharma, the good deeds and the good thinking, that may stay in our heart till the end of our life. That's why we say stories, which the stories are containing good messages. That is the way to promote Indian culture. That is the way to keep or protect Indian culture. And in our culture, we say Vyakhyata Veti Na Kavi. Kavi is poet who writes poetry, but the explanations and interpretations are not exactly given by the Kavi or the poet. The readers, they are the analysts. They analyze the poetry, they interpret the poetry, they give many more explanations to the poetry. So exactly what it is said, Vyakhyata Vetina Kavi. Kavi might have thought in a particular stream or in a particular way, and he might have wrote a poetry, but the readers give many more interpretations. That is the way of writing in India. And many our stories were to make good people, to bring up good people, good individuals with good individuality, and good individuals make good society, and good societies make good nation. And if you want our nation to be the best, it should be started from each and every single human being. And in according to Indian educational system, we concentrate each and every person. It's not a widely education. It is concentrated to individual to individual. Actually, in modern system, it was not in a particular way that this is the thing, this is the syllabus that everyone should learn. No, it was not the thing. The gurus or the teachers, they used to analyze the students, they used to understand the students, and the syllabus for each and every person was different, because it should attract the kid or student. The student should understand it. So accordingly, the teachers were making syllabus to each and every individuals, each and every person. And through that system, the teachers or the gurus were making good individuals, and good individuals can make good society, and good societies can make good nation. And now we are trying to keep our good nation into Parama Vaibhava, which is the extreme of the best. Due to the importance of environment, there are several reasons to preserve environment. So when we come again back to environment, what is the real importance of environment? We have told that it is the life supporting system. Then second is biodiversity. Diverse ecosystems support a wide variety of plants and animal species. Biodiversity is crucial for ecosystem sustainability. The provision of ecosystem service such as pollination, nutrition cycling, and climate regulations. And again, the third thing is really climate education. Natural systems like forests, oceans, and waterlands play a crucial role in regulating the Earth's climate by absorbing carbon dioxide and releasing oxygen. This also help moderate global temperature and water patterns. Fourth is natural resources. The environment supplies raw materials for human activities, including agriculture, industry, and medicine. Sustainable management of these resources is necessary for long term economic and social sustainability. It is said that Prithvi Santaranat Santu na Punya Punyena Vata Punyena Adhyushta Punya Prithvi Punyena Santuna. May the earth be protected by our good deeds, and may our good deeds be protected by the pure water. So, uh, we should be careful. That is the message. We should be careful when we deal with the environment, when we deal with the earth, when we deal with the nature. We should be careful Why we should be careful? We should be careful because we live here and we are supposed to protect the environment. Why? Because if you protect the environment, only the environment will protect you. Yeah, it's a vice versa procedure. If you protect environment, if you love environment, if you consider environment, the environment will protect you because you have to live in the environment. So it should protect you. You might have seen what happened in Wayanad in last week. The lack of love which we did to our land. We were trying to kill her. We were digging, we were making buildings, digging deep and deep and deep. So naturally, she is the land is mother. She might have been sad, so she reacted. But if you had been in love with her, she might have been in love with you, which was not happened. So this is the thing. If you love, if you protect, if you consider, then only they will consider you. Naturally, we human beings, if someone likes you, if someone give you consideration, then only you will be able to speak with that person in a good manner. Very simple. The environment, if the environment should be good, if the nature should be good, then you are the person, because you should be careful. So ultimately you are the reason for the good being of the environment and the bad nature's exploit bad situation of the nature also. You, the human being, is responsible. Cultural and reactional values is the fifth one. Natural landscapes and ecosystems provide recreational opportunities, aesthetic enjoyment, and cultural significance, enhancing human well being and quality of life. Now, what are the reasons for conserving or preserving nature? First, again, human health, because we are human beings, we think about ourselves first. So first is human health. Pollution and environmental degradation can lead to serious health issues such as respiratory diseases, waterborne illness, food contamination, etc. So a clean environment is essential for preventing these health risks and ensuring public health too. So nowadays we know all these things. But this was told many hundred or many thousand years before in Rig Veda. About the soil conservation. Sustainable agriculture and soil health are crucial for food security, is said in the fourth canto of Rig Veda. So, if you protect the soil, then you can cultivate good things which will be natural without any fertilizers. That time there was no fertilizer, there was no artificial fertilizers. Even though that was the condition, but they were having, those rishis were having sixth sense. They were able to think for far future. So they thought, then itself they told that you should be careful, you should preserve, or you should do soil conservation, you should be careful when you use fertilizers. And now we know that what is the relevance of that rishi vachana of rigveda, because soil degradation, erosion, and unsustainable farming practices are significant concerns today. So that was a warning. May not be directly, but that was a warning. Again, water conservation. Manusmriti in 8th canto is said that protecting water sources and preventing pollution is essential. They then itself knew that excess usage of water or climate change or change of mindset of the people or the habit of the people may change, which can harm many things, especially water, air, etc. So the sages told in advance that it should be protected. We know now what is happening. Water scarcity, pollution, and wastage are a pressing issue globally. So nowadays we go for rainwater harvesting. Now the next thing is sustainable development. Overexploitation and degradation of natural resources can lead to scarcity, and economic sustainability. Sustainable practices ensure that resources are available for further generations while meeting present needs. So, sustainable urban planning is directly mentioned in Arthashastra. In the second chapter, sustainable urban planning is directly described. Emphasis the importance of green space and sustainable urban planning. And nowadays, urbanization, pollution, lack of green spaces are very significant concerns in modern cities. Bhagavad Gita says about responsible consumption, encourages responsible consumption and mineral waste. And protection of biodiversity. Biodiversity is described, protection of biodiversity is described in Rig Veda in 10th canto, emphasis the importance of preserving diverse ecosystem. So these ancient Indian texts highlight the importance of living in harmony with nature and emphasize the need for sustainable practices which are still relevant today. Climate change mitigation. Preserving forests, waterlands, and the other natural habitats helps mitigate climate change by reducing greenhouse gas emission and enhancing carbon sequestration. Addressing the climate change is vital for preventing severe environmental, economic, and social impacts. Conservation of natural resources is told in Rig Veda. Protecting forests, rivers, and wildlife is essential for human survival. Rig Veda's 10th chapter says this. Kim Swadvanam, Kavusa Vriksha, Asayato Dayad, etc. is the that is the mantra for conservation of natural resources in Rig Veda. Mahabharata in Sabha Parva says about the climate change, describes the climate change and its impact on human societies. When would have been the Mahabharata made? But look at the concern. Look at the concern about the environment. And today, the climate change is a critical concern, and the rising temperature and extreme water scarcity is a real problem. Now we'll come to ecosystem service. Healthy ecosystems provide essential services such as clean water, fertile soil, and pollination of crops. Protecting these ecosystems ensures the continuation of these services, which are crucial for human survival and economic activity. काले वर्षतु पर्जन्य पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितो ब्राह्मणा सन्तु निर्भया अपुत्रा पुत्रिणः सन्तु पुत्रिणः सन्तु पौत्रिणा अधना सधना सन्तु जीवन्तु शरतः शतम्. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. This shloka says that earth should get proper raining. Then the land will flourish with plants, and we can live happily. The land will be normal with good flourish plants. It will not have unnatural calamities. Then the people will live here without any fear. Then the people are happy. If the people are happy, if the human beings are happy, the couples can have good relationship. They'll have kids, and they should live here with their children and grandchildren for 100 years with happy, with peace of mind. With happy and with peace of mind, they can survive here in the motherland. can anyone expect such a beautiful message? This is the message said in Indian literature, that if you want to live here happily, if you want to have a peace of mind, if you want a good family, enjoyable life, then what you should do? You should pray
To God.
you should pray God, because the earth should be happy with good rains. Everything is related: rain, sun, earth, human beings, plants, everything have interrelationship. So all should be good to stay here happily. पर्यावरणनाशाय नश्यन्ति सर्वजन्तव पवन दुष्टतां याति प्रकृति विकृतादये. So due to pollution, our environment, all beings are destroyed. With the winds get vicious and nature becomes hostile. So what not is said in our literature? What not? All the reasons, all the remedies, everything is explained in our literature, in Sanskrit literature, in Indian literature. It's said about the natural disaster prevention. Environmental degradation such as deforestation and waterland destruction can increase the frequency and severity of natural disasters like floods and landslides. Preserving natural landscapes help migrate these risks and protect communities. So first thing what we should do, we should prevent. And second thing, you should act on time when it is a disaster. So first thing, you should prevent. Second thing, you should act on the time of disaster. You might have heard about the story of Kaliya Mardana. All the kids will like the story of Kaliya Mardana, of Sri Krishna, the small baby, the young boy Sri Krishna, who was protecting environment. How when the Kalindi Nadi or the Kalindi river the Kaliya came and started living in the river Kalindi with his two wives, and with the poison which it was vomiting, the whole water was getting spoiled, and all the human beings or cows or other animals were getting headache, or were getting fainted by drinking this water. So the boy Sri Krishna, he thought of keeping his environment clean and neat. He want to protect his environment, and he went near the river, and there was a tree. He climbed on the tree, and then he jumped onto the head of the snake, and he started dancing, because he is a boy, he can't do anything other than that. So he started dancing, but it was not just the dance of a small boy, it was the dance of the great god Sri Krishna. Then the Kaliya was not able to bear that. He said sorry and he left the place. You should see that Sri Krishna, he didn't kill the snake. He told the snake to go away to somewhere else. He showed the place also, that Ramanaka is the best place for you. And he didn't kill, because the snakes, the cows, all the animals, they too live with us. They too have the equal right to live in the earth. We are not the owners of the earth. They too have the same power to stay here. So here what Sri Krishna shows that even though he is a small boy, he too can try to preserve the nature. He too can help the environment. He too can help the animals, or the other human beings who stay near to him, who stay next to him. So, being a boy, also, he is giving us a message. Again, he gives another message when a disaster occurs. What was this disaster? When heavy rain came, he lifted Govardhana with a small finger. Govardhana was a mountain. He lifted the whole mountain with his small finger, and all human beings, all the animals, all the birds, everybody came and started living under the mountain which was lifted by Sri Krishna. So this is the action. This is the action when a disaster appears. This is the message. This is the message which our stories give us. Lifts up the mountain with a small finger and keep the whole people of Vrindavana under it without any discrimination. No discrimination of caste, no discrimination of religion. Then he even includes animals which show Sarva Bhuta Hiterata. Bhagavad Gita says, which means in that uh, good of all existence, for good and welfare of all the beings. Everywhere you take any aspect of modern thing, there will be something, something which can be contributed from Sanskrit literature, and which can give a remedy also. Now we'll come to economic benefits. Healthy environmental support, industries such as tourism, agriculture, fisheries, etc. Environmental conservation can lead to economic benefits, and through the sustainable tourism, improve agriculture yields, abundance of fish stocks, etc. For tourism, the beauty of the place. For tourism, the beauty of the place should be highlighted. When the great poet Kalidasa was there in India, he explained the scenic beauty very beautifully. Who was Kalidasa? Kalidasa was a poet who wrote many beautiful poetry in Sanskrit, but he was not the best poet. That is another importance of Indian literature. It is said that kavyeshu makha kavi Kalidasa. The best kavyam is Makham, which was written by Makha Kavi. The best poetry was not written by the best poet. That is the important. The best poetry was not written by the best poet, but the best poet Kalidasa wrote many great poetry. That is the importance of Sanskrit. He has written many beautiful poetry. Ek se badkar ek, you can say. Each one is better than the other. And Kalidasa has written many most beautiful sense of environmental beauty of the whole India. If you highlight the beauty of her environment, then only people will be attracted and they come here for tourism. That is also one advantage. We can feel that Kalidasa might have been traveled each and every corner of India, because he has explained in such a way that you too can feel that. He has written in such a way that he has seen, he's staying then there and writing the poetry. You will feel that he's directly watching it and writing. That much feelingful lines were given by Kalidasa, and you will feel that you are directly watching it. That is the importance of the poetry of Kalidasa. He has started his poetry Kumara Sambhava with Astyuttarasyam Dishi Devatatma Himalayo Nama Nagadhi Raja Purvaparau Toyanidhiva Gahya Sthita Prithivya Iva Manadanda. This is Kumara Sambhava on the northern frontier of the country that forms the heartland of gods, intercalating himself into eastern and western oceans like a measuring stick of earth. There stands the sovereign of the snowy mountains, renowned as Mount Himalaya. First shloka of first canto of Kumara Sambhava. So, how the Himalaya is situated beautifully situated, how it is protecting India, and what is the starting point, what is the end point, and where the ocean is situated. So it is drawing the map. Actually, with one shloka of Kalidasa, he says he beautifully draws the picture of India. Almost the three sides are covered with Himalaya, and the other side it is the beautiful ocean, and it stands as if the measurements are made, or it is the boundary stays as if it is a boundary. Kalidas is the greatest poet, is one of the greatest poets of Sanskrit. uh, he's the best poet. In fact, he has written Mekhaduda. It's in Mekhaduda, he takes cloud as the messenger. He didn't take any human being. Cloud is the messenger in Mekhaduta. Look, that is the relation with a human being with environment. Raghuvamsha says that even though it is the legacy of Rajavamsha of Raghu, the King Raghu's legacy is shown in Raghuvamsha with the story. Kalidasa's uh, portrayal of the natural world often involves detailed observations of flora and fauna, capturing the subtleties of the environment. With poet's eye for the beauty, he describes the splendor of the Himalayas, luscious of the forest, serenity of rivers, the majesty of the changing seasons with unparalleled eloquence. His verses evoke the sensory experience of sight, sound, the smell, etc. Kalidas's ability to blend human emotions with the beauty of nature ensures that his descriptions are not merely pictured, they are with deep emotions. They really stay with nature, they really stay with culture. Readers can go through the culture of India. The readers can go through the history of India. The readers can go through the beauty of India. Mekhaduda, as we explained, the cloud is the messenger. It's very fabulous. As you move the dark cloud upon your journey, let the reasons you traverse the sprinkle with the cool moisture of your showers. Just as you, kind friend, give happiness to me with your sweet and pleasant words. Ritu Samhara is the what is Ritu? Ritu is season. Ritu Samhara is the garland of seasons. The earth decorated with clusters of flowers of varied hues appears like a woman who is adorned with jewels of dark different kinds. Kumara Sambhava is the birth of Kumara. In that, the Himalaya, he says, the Himalayas abode the perennial snow stands firm like the road to measure the earth. It peaks kissed by the rising sun, glow like the laughter of the dawn. And in Raghuvamsha, the dynasty of Raghu, the lakes with their lotus flowers bloom are like beautiful women, their faces radiant with joy. But the story of Dileepa, that you should consider very much, because in that Raghuvamsha, Dileepa is doing Nandini Paricharana. Nandini is a cow. How a great king and an empire is taking care of the cow is very important. Let the reason be anything, but he is just following the cow. He is saying, praying the cow. He's giving respect to the cow. He's doing everything to the cow, even though he's an emperor, but he is protecting and caring and loving the cow. That is the Indian culture. He never told that I am an emperor, the cow should obey me. No, that is the Indian culture. Let it be a human being. You should respect and love all the calamities, all the living beings of earth. Let it be human being, let it be birds, let it be animals, let it be reptiles, let it be the plants itself, but you should respect everything. All living beings should be respected. And there's a beautiful shloka by Kalidasa. Tam hamsamalam mahadeva gangam mahaushadhim naktamivatma bhasa sthiropadesham upadesha kale prapedire praktana janma vidya. He just explains the education of Parvati in the fifth canto of Kumara Sambhava. He's saying that the beautiful Parvati is getting her education done, and he's telling that, explaining that how the knowledge is acquired or how the knowledge is coming to Parvati. There are certain examples which explains the beautiful movement of the group of swans in the beautiful river Ganges. But the way Kalidasa explains is very fabulous. Connects the movement of the education, of in which he says the beautiful batch of swans glow like garland. There are white swans which can be seen on the water, and their shadow is reflecting down in the water. It's a beautiful moment. The white swans with the dark shadow are moving in a group very beautifully, very peacefully, in a beautiful movement. And Kalidasa says, like this, like the beautiful moment Parvati is getting educated or the knowledge is coming to Parvati. Then he says, then he says that she's a bright student, so she's getting very fast education. They are very bright, and but he gives the examples that there are some herbs which glow themselves in the night. In the dark night they glow themselves. There are some herbs which give light themselves, and that will be beautiful sight in the dark, how nicely they light. And the knowledge is very bright. Knowledge is coming to Parvati. And again Kalidasa explains that Parvati is a great student, and she gets the knowledge and it is getting brightened. And again he explains the third thing, the genetic beauty or the beautiful moments, the hamsa, first thing, the hamsamala group of swans are coming. Second thing, the herbs which are getting lightened themselves in the dark night. Again the thing is that she is a serious student. She gets educated very fast. And so stiropadesha upadeshagali, concentrated student is getting very fast education. Great amount of knowledge is acquired by Parvati. But again he mentions that prapedire praktana janmavadya, not only the education she is getting from this day, but she is getting the knowledge which she had in her before janma. The last janma, what knowledge she acquired is transmitted to this birth too. So there he says the relation between the former life and the present life. So many things are explained with environment, with human being, the culture of India. Everything is mixed and combined. That is the beauty of Indian literature. We say Mata Prithvi, Putroham Prithivya. Earth is our mother and we are her kids. When this thought is kept inside our mind, then we will never try to destroy the Mother Earth. We will have a consideration, we will have a feel, we will have a love that this is my mother. How the small kids say, my mother, this is my mother, not yours. That is the concept which is told that Prithvi, Mata Prithvi, Putroham Prithvi. If you have the feeling, you will never feel like killing her. You never feel like destroying her. You never feel to dig her. You just feel to protect her. How a son protects her mother when he grow up, he will feel that. If you protect the earth, the earth will protect you. And ethical responsibility. There's an ethical obligation to protect the environment for future generations, to respect intrinsic value of all living beings. Um, then we say that Janani Janma cha Surgatapi Gariyasi, which means the mother and the motherland are more sublime than the heaven itself. So, mother and motherland are equated. That is the most best or the most beautiful things which you can acquire. If you if you have a feeling that automatically you will try to love, you will try to protect the earth or the bhumi. मत्स्यकूर्मवराहश्च नारसिंहश्च वामना रामो रामश्च कृष्ण कल्की जनार्दन. This is the avatars, as we say, Matsya Avatara, Kurma Avatara, Varaha Avatara. That the stream is going like that, but it's not just merely the avatars, the Shavataras or something, but that is the growth of life in earth. First it was like a small thing, then it took then yeah, it became the like the shape of a fish which is in water. Then it became like a tortoise which can survive in water and both on land, then Varaha, then Narasimha, then at last it is like a human being which you can see now. So this is the life, how the life is started on earth and how we stand now. Even though it is a small shloka, just saying the names, but we can understand that that is the life on earth developed. So there are many incidents, many things which you can collaborate with. Global independence, environmental issues are global and environmental issues are global and interconnected. Actions in one part of the world can have significant impacts elsewhere. International cooperation and local action are both essential for addressing the changes effectively. Here, I'd like to highlight some points related to environmental concerns in ancient Indian literature, which have their relevance present. Sacredness of nature. Ancient literature says many ancient Indian texts like Vedas, Puranas emphasize the sacredness of nature. Trees, rivers, mountains, and animals often should be worshipped. Mm, Vrikshanam Ropanam Kuryat is told in Rig Veda. One should plant trees. Now we know one should plant trees. Ek, the logo, the motto is that ek ped maa ke naam. Likewise, one should plant a tree because we need trees on earth. We need oxygen. Trees produce oxygen. It is not told directly, but it is insisted that you should plant it. Never told that the reasons behind, but in some or how it is told that Vrikshanam Ropanam Kuryat in Rig Veda. Then protection of biodiversity. Prithivya Reta Vapatyor. In Rig Veda in 10th canto, preserving the essence of earth. It's very relevant now. Biodiversity loss. Then ecosystem and degradation are significant concerns today. Then preserving the essence of earth is very important. Prithivya Reta Sapatyo. Principles of dharma is again explained. The concept of dharma in the texts like Mahabharata and Ramayana includes living in the harmony with nature, maintaining the ecological balance. You see, when in Ramayana, Sri Rama has done many years vanavasa. He lived in the forest for many years. Then he understood the pulse of the environment, pulse of the forest. He understood many countries. Ramayana says about three countries mainly: Ayodhya, Kishkinda, Lanka. These three countries have different types of people: human beings, then monkeys, and then rakshasas. Three types of different types of different types of living beings are situated in these three countries. Their culture is different, their food habits are different, but Sri Rama is traveling the whole three countries, understanding the pulse of the society, understanding different types of people, understanding different cultures. Then he is living in forest for many years. Then he becomes Sri Rama, understands everything. He gets good knowledge from the nature, he gets good knowledge from good understanding from the nature. After that studies, after that experience, after that knowledge, after that orientation, he becomes king. So before that, he was not able to become a king because he was not oriented directly from the nature. That is Indian culture. Then soil conservation, bhumi mata putroham prithivya. When again it is so told that mother earth is mother, so you should love. Then only the soil degradation or erosion or unsustainable farming practices and which can be changed, because we naturally love our mother, we protect her. About water conservation is written, then apsume somo abhravid antaraye pradeepa. Rigveda again, water is essential for life, we know. Nowadays we say, we cry about water scarcity, pollution, wastages are pressing issues globally. So water is very important. So water is essential for earth is told not only in the modern era but many thousands years before. Jataka Kathas, as Rajesh sir was mentioning in the introduction, Jataka Kathas and Panchatantra's emphasis the kindness towards the animals and the interconnectedness of life forms. So it is not direct, it is not said anywhere that the animals should be kept away. It's a society, so you need everything: the plant, the trees, the animals, the human beings, everything. So everything should live in the society with a harmony. So protection of animals is told that ahimsa paramo dharma. Mahabharata in Shanti Parva it is said that ahimsa is paramo dharma, non-violence is the highest duty. We say now animal welfare, no cruelty towards animal. We say it now, but it was told ahimsa paramo dharma in Mahabharata. Then forest conservation is emphasized in many places. About the climate change, Bhagavad Gita says, observing the defect of suffering due to climate change, dukkha doshanudarshanam. Due to climate change, how you will be felt bad is written. Then air pollution control, it's said about air pollution control. Ayurveda says a lot about environment. It says each and every herb, how, in which condition every herbs are made, what is the qualities of a tree or of a plant or of a herb, and how it should be processed, and the processed medicine in which way that it can be used, where there can be reactions, where there can be actions. Everything is very well mentioned in Ayurveda and other ancient texts discuss the most importance of clean air and methods of purify it using natural means. Then holistic health and well-being is explained beautifully. Holistic approach to health in Ayurveda and yoga includes living in harmony with nature, consuming natural and unpolluted food and water. And we again cry because it's very much relevant today. The holistic health approach supports the modern movement towards organic farming, natural living, the environmental well-being. In India, India had given new culture of the millets, what we mentioned earlier. The millet culture has started very recently by India. It was a message to the whole world to consume millets for the wellness of the health. Only a good body can have a good mind, a peaceful mind. So when you consider the health of a person, not only the external health, not only the body which can see now, but the mindset is also very important. The physical health is again related with mental health. All these points illustrate how ancient Indian literature's environmental concerns remain relevant even today, offering valuable lessons and sustainable practices to address contemporary ecological challenges. These Sanskrit quotes from ancient Indian literature emphasize it very much. The relevant, the ecological changes, they address about the modern ecological changes and what are the results, and in which way you can support the environment to live here peacefully. If you want to live here peacefully, you should be conscious, you should not harm environment, you should love environment, then only the environment will love you as if devan bhavayatanena. And the aim is, what is the aim? Actually, the aim to protect the environment, to preserve the environment, to save the environment, to save the earth. There are many methods which are following in the new era. It is suitable, but there can be and there are many more better ways which are told in older textbooks, far old ones, far old textbooks which might have been written thousands and thousands years ago, says a lot about the environment, says a lot about the good practices which can help the earth good, which can help the environment good. As we are going through modern ones, but we can't say no to the older techniques, because they are effective, they were effective, and nowadays they are also. So we should even use the old techniques which are really useful, and uh, that is for the well-being of the environment. The all the techniques, both the modern and the age old techniques, which are scientific, which are useful, should be in practice, and the mindset of the people should be changed. For that, we learn the stories, the shlokas, which says a lot good about the environment, which says a good about the nature, which says the relations between the individual and the environment. The stories, these shlokas, why we by heart? Just to improve the love, just to have more love towards the nature. If you love, you will get love. If you care, you will be cared. If you protect, you will be protected. That is it. So we should be careful. We should be love, we should be careful, we should protect the earth. Then you will be able to live here. You can survive here happily with a good health and peaceful mind. Again, I say, Mata Prithvi, Putroham Prithivya. This is your mother, and we are her children. With this, I conclude.
Thank you, ma'am. It was a wonderful session. In fact, it was like listening to a fine poetry. Right from the beginning till the end, it was like waves and waves of thoughts coming on different directions, and that too from the perspective of environmental protection. In fact, I for myself would certainly attest to the fact that I didn't know many of these things which you are talking about, and definitely it enriched my understanding of the issue area. And before we go into our comments, I think there are certain questions that we can take. Our audiences have given certain questions. I will display them on the screen, and you can take them one by one, ma'am. Chari, she's asking the question, can you explain how we can overcome present environmental concerns that we are facing? Maybe on in the context of the ancient Indian literature.
Yeah, the that is the crux actually. If you love, if you protect, if you take care of the environment, naturally the environment will be happy. It will take care of you. So you through the shlokas, through the stories, you should educate the generation, not only our generation, even the next generation. You should give continuously, again you should tell and tell the stories. Then how the Krishna was preserving, or Krishna was helping the environment. Likewise, the students, the kids will feel that they too should take care of the environment. So only the stories are needed for the future generation and present generation. There are vriksha ayurveda which says that how the vrikshas should be protected, and we knows that if the trees the environment will be more strong, the mud will be strengthened, there will not be any unnatural calamities. So the techniques from Vriksha Ayurveda can be used to protect the trees. The trees can protect the nature again, and again the fertilizers they spoil both the soil and the trees. And mainly, if the fertilizers used vegetables which we eat, our health will be spoiled. So it's a cycle. Somewhere you should break that cycle. For that, the old techniques are good.
Okay, ma'am, that's excellently well said. Again, she has another question. In what ways can the relevance of natural elements in ancient Indian literature, like the concept of prakriti or sacred groves, inform contemporary conservation strategies and policies? Maybe she wants to link both these things, ancient Indian literature with contemporary conservation strategies, with concepts like prakriti and sacred groves.
Yeah, the all the main mantras or hymns are told about this, especially in Atharva Veda and Rig Veda mainly. The protection of the earth and environment is very well explained. So the relation between the interpersonal, not only interpersonal relationship, between the personal relationship with the environment is explained. And to preserve, actually, to preserve the earth or preserve the environment, we consider all that as gods, because God, as we feel that God is some supremo, so we respect God. Likewise, when we consider that earth is a god, Prithvi is a god, earth is a god, then we even fear God and we love God. So we love Prithvi, we love earth, and we protect and we serve earth. Like this, in each and every situations, through the literature which we had, says everywhere about the protection and preservation. All the sacred mantras, all the mantras have one or two meanings. Somewhere or the how, some or the how it is really related with the environment. And if you again start using those techniques in the modern era, it will not be considered as old techniques. They are nitya nutana, which we say. It is it may stand every time. It will be every time new, very much new. And even though if you use the old techniques, you can still have a wonderful results.
Thank you, Ben. There is another question. This is from Rama. How do ecological concepts embedded in ancient Indian epics, such as Ramayana's portrayal of forests and wildlife, offer solutions to contemporary issues of habitat destruction and species?
Now we are trying to make small forests. Even in Trvandrum, in the near Conimara market in Palayam, there is a new project. Upcoming project is there to make small forests. Some name is there. Some hikey forest or something. Some new name is there. So likewise, we try to make forests even in the mid of the town also, because the forest is very much important, because of the herbs, because of the trees. Not only that, which gives good air, good atmosphere, and peaceful of mind. This is why my Sri Rama might have gone when the situation was very worst in his country. His father was on the bed. He may be counting his last hours. Then Sri Rama was supposed to go to forest, even though it was due to some other reasons, but he went to the forest. There he understood a lot about the culture, the society, and there he became the real Sri Ram, the real individual, because he lived in the environment where he understood everything. Why Sri Buddha had gone to get his the Vijayan or Jnana, and he sat under a tree where you'll have the peace of mind. And in temples, when the praying of the temples are mentioned, it is told when you do the pradakshinas, when you round the round when you do the pradakshinas in the temple, the numbers are told as ekam vinayakam kurya dos surya trini shankare chatwari devya vishnu cha sapta ashwate pradakshina. The most number of pradakshinas or the rounds should be done to the um, Ashwatha. The most of the round should be given to the tree in the temple, because that is the most important, which is very next to you. You should understand the importance of a tree which produces oxygen. If there is oxygen, if there is water, then only you can live in the society. So these are small examples, but with a great meaning.
Thank you, ma'am. I think those are the questions, and others are all appreciations, stating that your presentation was really excellent. That we also do state very unequivocally that definitely it was a very good presentation, which gave us a lot of insights. And before I leave this session open to my colleagues on the panel, I also have this doubt that we have for long had a long tradition of environmental protection. All this literature does talk about environmental protection in one way or the other. But along the way, many of the techniques which were adopted, many of the patterns which were present in our ancient literature and which were depicted in our ancient literature, they have been lost somewhere. Why do you think that we have not been able to carry forward that very rich tradition that we had of environmental protection to the modern times? Though we are the people who are best placed to accept that and implement that. Your thoughts on that, man?
Yeah. Uh, in India, we had a great knowledge system, especially in Vedas. All the knowledges about science and technology, environment, and whatnot, which is described in Vedas. And all the foreigners were coming India as they are the big, they are in search of knowledge. They came here for knowledge. They stayed many years here for knowledge. They acquired the knowledge and went away. So India was considered as the hub of knowledge, the center of the knowledge. But in the end of there are many reasons, maybe many reasons, but in one stage, when the invasion started, I think maybe in the end of 7th century or the 8th century, the foreigners came, and we always consider as Atiti Devo Bhava. We gave place to all the people who came here. We considered everybody as gods. We gave everything, and they started living here. And the again, in the later stages, there many dynasties were here, many foreigners came here and started ruling us. They all they all were ruling here with their culture. They didn't adapt our Indian culture. They didn't adapt the Bharatiya culture, but they were ruling with their own mindset, and in their mindset, and they made us to teach that Indian culture is not very great. only the foreign culture or the Western culture is really great. So what happened? We had the rulers who came from outside of India. They ruled here for 1,000 years. In that 1,000 years, what the legacy we had was stopped for a time being of maybe around 800 to 1,000 years. And again, when we got independence, what happened? We started getting the modern science and technology, the modern system, and the mindset of Indians were changed, that we are nobody, we are not fluent in English, we don't know any modern techniques, we don't know science and technology. This was the mindset made by the Westerners. And in that mid period, we started stopping, or we left the Indian tradition, which was based on Sanskrit, and we started acquiring the new culture. And according to the new science and technology that was just started around 500 years ago, but we had everything, all the science and technology, all the legacy, everything which he had. Even Veda says that how to make a ship, what is the ship technology, what is the technology of what do you say, the spaceships, which ISRO is making spaceships. So rockets, which that technology too is explained in Vedas. And that's why the former ISRO chairman Madhavan Nair sir told that the Chandrayaan 2 technology is a part of it is taken from Vedas. And when the new chairman came, Somnath sir, he too underlined it. The Chandrayaan 3 technology we had taken help from the where the rocket technology which was in Vedas. So it's a combination of traditional and modern. And the thing is that we had all the metallurgy, we know about the chemicals, everything, but as we were not aware of our real knowledge for 1,000 years, we were stopped, and the link was broken. Now we are not able to identify with the names. The names will be there, but we are not able to identify what it is. That is the problem. We have everything, we had everything, but the link has broken. So we have to restart again. Now even in IIT Mumbai, there are some of the scholars who are both scholars of science and traditional Indian knowledge. They are translating many texts for ISRO for this rocket purpose. So we have that, but we have to restart. We have to relearn, or we have to research. Basically, we have to research. We have everything. We have to research because the link is broken.
Thank you, ma'am. That was very well explained, and a concept has been made very clear. In fact, I feel that there is also a particular textual portion under Vimana Parva, which talks about a lot of avionics, including fighter jets and the fuel that is being used in those aviation-related equipments and so on. So, as you say, it is our literature is very rich, and absolutely no doubt as regards that. Now, over to my colleagues, Dr. Satyakirti and Mr. Raja, and of course, Sajit as well. Dr. Satyakirti.
Yeah.
Yeah, kindly unmute. Unmute, please.
It was a nice presentation, ma'am. I would like to supplement to your explanations for the last question. In my opinion, I feel that the documents that were available with the ancient Indians were not properly documented. I mean, there was a lack of printing technology in the Indian in the ancient India. One thing, and it was not properly used. And the other thing is that there was a landlord something slavery system was also there, and that also and so there was a tendency for the landlords to mint more money rather than protecting the environment. And so the protection of environment was confined with the maybe with the farmers, etc. So that might have been the reason, one of the reasons why there were lots of environmental degradation. And of course, all what we say about the climate change and all, it has been happening earlier also, because we know that climate changes are always there. It's mostly, many of them are natural, but nowadays it has become more of the present climate change is more anthropogenic. I mean, it's human induced. So that's why we are more concerned about that. But when it comes to the developed countries, they are not still considering climate change because of many other economic reasons. That's what I feel. And of course, we have other rituals also, like one of the listeners was telling about the sacred groves. It's still being protected. We know that we have cow that's it's still being protected. And there are many other things, like when we visit our temples, Hindu temples, where we have that banyan tree. So before going into the temple, what we do is that we have a circle. I mean, we have a pradkshinam 3 times over the banyan tree. That's the reverence that we give to the environment. So all these are the importance that we give to the ancient environmental concerns. And in fact, it was a very good presentation, and thank you for making such a good presentation. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Satyamurthy. Now over to Dr. Raja.
Yeah, a fantastic, very beautiful event, madam. In the year 2020, I was attended the Indian Science Congress, which was in GKVK, Gandhi Krishi Vigyan Kendra, Bangalore. There was a beautiful presentation by Professor Gowda. The same topic, what you are touched, it is spiritual, scientific, and emotionally, the presentation which was done, which was touched to our motherland. So first, so far as so many years, so many logic, so many things, so many literature, so many experts are there. First of all, man should behave like a man. Human should behave like a human first. So that you can protect everything. As the protection of the human community protects the environment for their own survival and the diversity around them. And secondly, what we say that majority of this producing oxygen, reduce of air pollution, prevent soil erosion, and like that, lot of things, water cycle, resource, all everything, which is all destroyed by our own human nature only. As per the Ministry of Environment and Forest, which was explained, the protecting of the nature, which is depend upon us. You can see nowadays, for our welfare, you might have seen in any state, any place to develop, they are deforesting the trees. You might have seen so many areas. They are bifurcating, all trees are being removed, and for the surveillance of the people, but they don't think about the future, what is happening. And with this, and I appreciate, and I was very much inspired, not only me, the entire viewers who are all over India, and all, it was very beautiful explanations. With that, as per our former President of India, Sri Honorable Respected Dr. APG Kalam sir, as view is, if you want to shine like a sun, first burn like a sun. And every mature tree gives oxygen. Plant more tree for reviving the planet. One tree, one life. Plant a tree and save millions of life. With this, save a tree, and from today onwards, we'll try to save and protect. As a token of this event, our senior regional director has decided yesterday itself, IGNOU Regional Center Trvandrum has already made a plantation, and we have planted some 10 to 12 trees in the IGNOU new premises, regional center, as a token of this. With this, I thank one and all, and I wish you for a beautiful presentation regarding environment. And there are a lot of things. As you said, today we are lucky. We are lucky because India is having such a richest mineral. So we have tropical climate. Nowhere in other countries we could find the tropical climate. Every 3 months once we get winter, summer, monsoon, like that different. In case Europeans are coming to our country, to even European countries, they're paying the citizens, they're giving money for traveling to India to get summer bath, natural climate, everything. So we are seeing in our day-to-day life. It was very nice, even very beautiful explained, madam. Anyway, thanks one and all, congratulations, and thanks to our senior regional director, sir, was organized and conducted such a beautiful program. Thank you, one and all. Thank you.
Mr. Sajid, thank you, Sri Raja. Sajid, any comments or anything to add on?
Nothing, sir. No, we
Okay.
can find.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
Sajid is one of the protector. Not only like how the scientifically we protect the nature like that. Today the event and argument, all our programs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The backend
Sajid,
support is always there from him.
really,
Wonderful.
Sajid is a plus point for us. He is conducting a beautiful. This program also was conducted through his own things. Thank you, Sajid, for your beautiful.
Now, may I request Dr. T.R. Satyakirti, Assistant Regional Director, to deliver a formal vote of thanks.
In fact, this was a very good presentation from Dr. Lakshmi Vijayan, madam. The presentation was beautifully explained on behalf of IGNOU Regional Center Trvandrum and all the participants of this particular program. I wholeheartedly thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Next, I would like to thank our Senior Regional Director, Dr. Rajesh, for coordinating and all the whole program and making good explanations on this particular topic. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Next, I would like to thank our Assistant Registrar, Sri R. Raja, for giving a brief of our distinguished guest for this program. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Next, I would like to thank Sri Sajid for organizing and coordinating this program very well. Thank you, Sajid, for
And last but least, I would like to share in this platform. And today, Indira Gandhi National Open University ranked #1 in distance education in the national level.
Nyaya.
Yeah, I'd like to explain. The original director may explain. Please, let us
No,
please.
as you explained, in the latest NIRF ranking, we have been ranked #1 in the country. So,
And last date for admission, today is the last date. Many of the students are applied and they are ready to pay the fees and they want to upload the documents. They can make use of the support by till today night, 12 p.m. They can make it all. Before that, they have to complete it. Further, there may be any extension also we can see. But in form of admission, today is the last date. So kindly utilize the facility, just complete the formality. With this, I would like to end my things. And thanks and over to the regional director.
thank you, ma'am. Thank you for making this wonderful presentation. And let me also state here that this particular webinar will go into the certificate program in environmental sustainability on SWAYAM as part of its course content. And that will be very beneficial for the students as well. So I doubly thank you, ma'am, for not only giving a presentation to our regular IGNOU students and other the coordinating regional centers and other people who are associated with IGNOU, but also making a part of the content available for the certificate program in environmental sustainability, which forms part of the SWAYAM platform. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.